General thoughts on Saphira before we get into a proper grade of this dragon in the film Eragon.
Yes, and like I've said throughout it, I actually really like Saphira. Like I really like that they incorporate feathers. I think that that's like a fun little thing that they do. I love just the look.
It's not just feathers though, because they have feathers and like tufts of hair with the scales and the spikes, and that feels kind of like a hodgepodge on paper, but they really pull it off in the final result.
No, I agree. I genuinely, other than the voice, I think that the score is going to reflect it.
Yeah, I mean I have some issues with that as well, but overall I think the effects work is great, and we're going to get into all of that. But I think that Saphira will grade surprisingly high considering both of our comments on the actual film
I think
that she's portrayed in.
I think there's only going to be really... Well, let's just get into it.
Right, okay. So we have a 5-part grading system for our dragons. The first aspect of which is design. So we're going to be doing each of these a score out of 10, 0 being abysmal, 10 being incredible.
Yeah.
So scale of 0 to 10. As far as design, I'm feeling a 7 for Saphira, which translates to a very good. I don't think it's amazing, and there's something in the like docileness of it where when she has to be badass and like wreak havoc, that doesn't really read, but it also makes it an undeniably like kind and like good guy dragon.
Yes.
And also like again in all of that, like the feathers, the texture of this dragon is really excellent. So that's a 7 for me. What do you think?
I gave it a 7 as well. I think you hit it really the nail on the head. I really do enjoy that she has like, it's more than just legs for her front arms. Like her front arms are actually arms. You see her holding Eragon when they do the first flight. I really enjoy that. It's like, we're so used to a Game of Thrones where it's the wyvern look of the wings and the back legs. So when we actually do get to see the extra appendages, I really like that. And I'm just a sucker for blue dragons. Like I'm just really a sucker.
But it's a good blue.
It's a good blue.
It's like a reptile blue.
Yes.
Which like we made that comment on the jelly bean.
The jelly bean.
But yeah, it's just like they chose just the right hue to where she pops, but she doesn't feel like a cartoon character.
Yes. I agree.
As far as the special effects, I mean, I don't have much more to say than I have throughout this episode. I think that you might disagree. I think this is a 9.
A 9
on special effects. There are a few instances like it doesn't necessarily reach that like perfect illusion of like, oh my goodness, that's a dragon. That's a real life dragon that I'm seeing before me. But it looks leagues better than the vast majority of CGI characters we see in our modern era 20 years on.
I will say this, like this, I might be surprising. I gave it a 9 as well, strictly because like
hey, we are looking pretty
2 for 2.
No, we're looking pretty Skublockus Ven here. What's this about?
No, I genuinely, that's what I was thinking of. Like, if you look at the special effects for Saphira now, I mean, like then, in the special effects of what they would possibly do now, leagues different. Like I've seen like the special effects in some of these like Marvel movies look worse than what Saphira looks like now, like back then.
Yeah, and it's in the like tactileness where, again, looking at the dragon, it's not necessarily the whole real life dragon, but it does feel like a real element in the film at all times.
Yeah,
like, where he's riding it, and like you do truly feel like Eragon can reach out and touch any part of this dragon.
Yeah, and you really don't feel like Ed Spielers. I can't get his name. Ed Spielers is not talking to a tennis ball. It doesn't feel like he's talking to a tennis ball, which again, I know that's more on Ed's part, but still.
Yeah. All right. Now, as far as the character of Saphira, this is actually going to rate pretty high for me as well.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Now, there aren't super strong characters in this film. Really, there's some meat in the text, but it just moves so darn fast that, again, it's just such a crime that we skipped over that that beginning like raising Saphira section. Like I honestly feel like if we'd have got that, there would have been room for this to be a 10 out of 10 character dragon.
Oh, for sure.
As it is, I'm actually still going to give this an 8.
Oh, wow.
Which is a great to me. I like that because this is, to me, this is divorced from the special effects. And maybe, or no, sorry, this is divorced from the voice actor, which to me would have factored more into the special effects. I have a feeling you're going to put that more into the character here. But I like that she has a legitimate connection with Eragon. Mm-hmm. They have sort of a push and pull in their relationship. I like that she speaks. Yes. This does so much for a character when they can actually do that. And she does legitimately emote. Like, there is room within this dragon to read her face and understand what she's going through. There are also many instances where she has, like, shared jokes with Eragon, or, like she'll give a little attitude to Braum here and there. It's an 8 to me.
I get where you're coming from, but as you alluded to, the voice just really got to me. The voice, I just couldn't really get over the voice. And it just really seemed like that Eragon was talking to a human oftentimes. Like the conversations they were having, it just seemed like it would be like two characters that are human or humanoid having conversation. It didn't feel like it was a conversation with a dragon. So because of that, I gave it a 5. I mean, 5 is not bad, but it's mainly because Saphira didn't feel like a dragon to me, dialogue-wise, and the voice was just too humanoid. They literally could have just changed, like, they could have had more bass. They could have literally done anything that would have taken 5 minutes.
I hear you, and I don't necessarily disagree.
And for me, it didn't feel like Eragon was talking to a dragon, so that's why I gave it a 5.
Now, for the film, we've been talking for 2.5 hours now about it, so I don't feel the need to go any deeper. I think it's okay. I think Eragon is a 5 out of 10 film, which somehow is much higher than what it appears to have averaged on various platforms, but that's what it is for me rewatching in 2024.
I gave it a 4.
Okay. Which we've listed as a mediocre.
Yeah, I think it's mediocre. And again, I really tried to keep my feelings about the book out of that.
I appreciate it.
But I gave it a 4.
Now, we for our last category, we get to X Factor, which is kind of a catch-all. And I think that again, I've already given Saphira credit for personality. So that's not necessarily what I'm grading here. Here we're looking for something different, something that's outside of the norm of what we see in a quote-unquote typical dragon movie.
Yeah.
And this is actually going to be a 5 for me as well.
Okay.
Because in some ways this is to the film's benefit, but in this instance it's not, where this feels very like standard dragon.
Yeah.
Where it's the protagonist's blue good guy dragon with the 4 legs and the wings. It's a very standard design, rendered well, but I'm kind of struggling to come up. Well, then again, I do like the telepathy thing. That's a little different. So I actually think I'm going to bump it up to a 6.
Bumping up to a 6.
But that's a good. What are you feeling?
I ironically enough gave it a 5 as well, without bumping it up to a 6. But almost like what you just said, like a lot of the things that we see is very generic. I do think it's unique because of that telepathy that it's going on. The telepathy. It's
a something in this movie. Like whether or not it works, it's a little different, which is where I think you get credit in this category.
But for me, like I don't feel like I feel like there needs to be a little more than
fair. And this is also the category where it really is just like your opinion. Yeah. So whatever you want to factor into it, that's on you.
And for me, like I would give it a higher score, but I already gave the high score of the design and the special effects for the coloring, because the coloring is just beautiful. But I gave it a 5.
Which brings our final score for Saphira, taking all of our scores And averaging them out, that comes to a 6.5 out of 10 for Saphira in the 2006 film Eragon.
Which is higher than some of our dragons in season 1 wrap-up.
Oh, House of the Dragon. Yeah. Check out that video if you want to see us grade 5 of the dragons from the first season of House of the Dragon.
That's all for this week's Dragon Lore. Takes cold and hot, spread shore to shore. Enjoyed yourself? Please join the squad. Follow on social media at BigLizPod. And one quick reminder before you go, to rate, review, and share the show. Thank you for listening. It means a lot. See you next week, same time, same spot.